Hello everyone. So today I will present basically how to build a simple RAG system for someone who don't know which is RAG system. I think I can move to the next slide. I think this here it's a lot of like items to understand what is RAG, but I think the one that I like it's like when someone is asking you a question, you have an open book and you are just double check the answer in the book and after your answer. So basically this is kind of what RAG is doing. So I will present now my screen, how to build it. So for that, basically what I have done, I prepared some data. I took like the events from SeniorDev. Here it is. So I created like a folder in Google Drive. Here I create a files. Of course, here can be multiple files. So inside these files, I have basically the events. I added here some kind of random data, but kind of the summary, the speaker, the date, the name of the event. So what my RAG will do in the end, it kind of, I can ask questions, like let's say, where the Thomas is a speaker. So it will return me back basically the answer to this question. It will return me the events where Thomas was a speaker or different questions. So but basically I can discuss with this RAG in the end about this document. So for that, I mean, like I use it here like N8 just to simplify it, and I think it's more visual understandable. So here we will do like two workflows. One workflow, it will download this document, convert it, basically for a lemma working with number. So for that we need to convert this document in numbers, and they store in some database these numbers. So but basically this will be one workflow, and the second one will basically the chat model, which one will take the data from database and answering the questions. So but basically I will start here to do it. So here I will select like the trigger it manually. After that I will use Google Drive. So I need to connect this workflow to my Google Drive to download this document. So here I will like kind of search. But basically this is, I think it's just how it is. Search file. For that I need search files and folders. Now, but basically this is how. So for someone, of course, I already created the authenticate this N8 to my Google Drive. But like for someone who doesn't have, you can just click here, like create new credentials. It will like there is basically a good documentation how to create, and it's simple to create an account in Google Drive and to allow, let's say, that to take the data from that. But I already created, so let's select here my user. So now I should specify which folder I need. In this case, the name of the folder is N8M. So basically, I can execute the step. So I should get here, but basically, this is like the file that I had in the folder. So the second, the third will be again the Google Drive, but in this case, I just should download it in the memory of the N8. So here is like the download file. So basically, in the left, you are seeing the file. So here can be as a pattern. So if you have multiple files, you just can from list. But basically, you can select one file. In my case, I can take like by ID, so it's just a pattern. It will download the files, like all the files that are inside of. Yeah, so I also can execute here the step. So here I got like the file that I am having there. I mean, like inside my folder in the Google Drive. So now these steps are done. So the next step will be to save this data in some database. So basically, for that, I use it like Supabase. Also, as an example, you can use like maybe like the Postgres. So Postgres also, but here the point that the database should support the vector kind of vector database. So I mean, like a Postgres also is supporting, but I selected like Supabase, and here I created a table. Yeah, VID, content, metadata. This type JSON, and this like where the numbers will be stored. So the name is embedding and vector, and also the structure of the tables for the it is also, you can also take it from the N8 docs. So here you can search here there like Supabase vector store node, and here if you go in the quick start for settings, you can basically copy the database schema and execute in the Supabase or like another database that you selected, and in the end you will have basically this table. Yeah, so the next step, how I said, we should store, and the N8 also it's working with. I mean, they have the plugins. I should select Supabase Web Store, and from this item I need like add document to vector store. In the settings, again, I also already connect my N8 service with the Supabase, or kind of the authentication, but it's also like click on this item, and it will redirect you to the documentation. So you should follow the steps and create an account and connect it with this tool. So in my case, I will use this one. So operation mode, it will be insert. So basically, it will take the data from the Google Drive document and insert in the database. So here it's like insert, and from list, I should use the table name based documents are represented. In the Supabase, the table name is also documents. So but basically, this is like the first, and also like to convert this the text in the numbers. For that, you also should use some models, but in my case, I will use OpenAI embeddings. So but basically, this is a model which is converting the text in numbers. So here it's yeah, again the same. I created account like before, but also you can test creating credentials. And so the model here exists like different models. It depends, of course, like how much data you have in documents and so on. For me, it will be fine to use small one. And basically the document loader. So here it's kind of, in my case, I will use binary. No, I mean, so here you can go and test which one can work better for you. So in my case, it will be like text splitting. So basically, how it will split the text. So it can be like by paragraph or amount of charts. So it will like split and make a lot of rows in the table. So for me, it's fine to use like simple, but you can use custom and play around like here it is split by basically by 1000 charts. Here is the description. So this is basically done the first workflow. So now if I will execute it, it will download the file from the Google Drive and convert it in the convert and save in the database. So if I will execute it now, so basically we can see kind of progress what it's doing. So now if I will update in the database, you see like this rows appears. So basically here what these are the kind of, this is the vector, this which one the model are working on. This is like a kind of really important one. So the next workflow, it is like about the chat, on which one you will ask questions related to this data, and you will get the answer. Any questions regarding these steps?
Yeah. So the embeddings OpenAI, it takes the text and convert it into those embeddings. This text, this kind of like number representation of the data, and the default data loader. What is that?
So, but basically, this is kind of to, yeah, you cannot take basically yes, like this data, all this data, just copy paste and save it in one row. Basically, what it's doing, it is, let's say that it is taking the first event, copy paste it, convert it, and save it in the database. So you see like the first slide. So here you see this metadata. What this first line is about? It is taking the text from the line 1 till 39. Yeah. So basically, this is like the default data loader. I think here you can go like, let's say that it is custom. And there is also like some options like how to split this one. So you see it's like character text splitter. So but basically, yeah, how you can, but basically, yeah, it is how to split your data to save and for like optimize this search, just like to optimize the answer from the model. I mean, but basically you can read here the description. What it is like modes are. Token splitter, it's like its amount of tokens.
I can also just, as by sentence, this was a little bit blurred for me first time Grigory showed me, but when I started on the book, I got recommended by Artyom. They started, just in the start of that book, but they started describing those concepts. And when I'm finished with the book, it will be more like a aha.
But I mean, like for simplify, I just of course told that if you just take the steps, like convert it in the numbers, just like here, these are the numbers. I mean, of course, it's like not just this is like from the OpenAI numbers. So kind of each of this number, it's kind of here, let's say one chart. Yeah, so it is searching by numbers, not by text. Yeah, some other questions we can go. Just return back. Oh, please. So the next one will be the so here I will need a, I mean, this workflow basically will start when new chat will appear, new message will answer. So here I should select that new chat message. No changes here. And here for that I will need like another plugin. It's AI agent. So basically no changes here. And here I need to set up basically this AI agent. So for that I need to specify which model I want to use. So in this case I also will use OpenAI chat model. So for that I will use ChatGPT 4.1 mini. It's enough. Like memory again, it's here I do not kind of save it somewhere. Like let's say that the questions which one I'm asking and answering. So it just will be in memory. So with simple memory. Okay. And in the tool, I should use here like vector store question answer tool. So I should describe what kind of data is that. In this case, it's let's say. So now I should connect basically this tool to my database. So in my case, it's Supabase again, the same which I set up in the previous step. But here, like the operation mode, it will be like retrieve documents. It will take the data from the database, and here again I should specify which table. So in my case, it's again documents. Yeah, so here this step is. And also when I will ask some questions about this my data, the questions again should be converted into these numbers. So I will again use like embeddings OpenAI model. So again, the same like embedding tree small. And to analyze the data, I will also use like ChatGPT for one. So I think basically this is all. So now I can ask questions like, Thomas. Okay. So basically I see here how the progress what is doing. Yeah, so it returns me back basically the events where the speaker is Thomas. Like white, we have updating salary, we have June, and structurize C4 number. Yeah, and then of course I can like ask different questions. So you see here it also doesn't return me the column speakers. Because I asked Thomas, so the speaker. I mean, and you can also specify, of course, what you want to retrieve, maybe to do some summary, so on. So I think in the West, this is like a RAG system. Simple, of course, here there can be a lot of issues with it. Yes, like it depends on your data, how it is structured, and so on. Like to get a better answer from it. But yeah, in this case, this is what is RAG.
So, yeah, I have a question. So here it managed to understand that in order to figure out where Thomas is a speaker, it should check basically all the way back to the document that is in the vector database and stuff. But if I ask, for example, when was the moon landing, right? How would it understand when to check with that content store and when to just start asking the model?
So I think here, I think you can specify basically the. I'm not sure if here it's supported in the settings, but like in the for the OpenAI chat model, you can specify the. I don't remember like the parameter about like not hallucination, but if it should take, let's say that you don't have any data inside your document about the moon, yes. And in this case, it will return you back that it didn't find anything about the moon in your data. Or you can specify this parameter to be like from 1 to 0. So 1, it means that it can take the data from the model and which one it was learned. So it can take the data from the model base, not from your data.
Oh, that's exactly what we need to see in this support system for accounting system like triple text. It always tells me when it doesn't know. Now we will set this one up on Ordning, by the way.
This is like sampling temperature, so you can. I think this is the parameter for it, so you can specify it. So it's like 0.07. Basically, I think 0 means or vice versa. So you can specify this parameter if it should only get your return answer from your documents, or if you want maybe like the answer from model itself, or from the data on which it was learned.
Oh, nice. We will set this on Ordning. You can even set up one demo on SeniorDev, just as a kind of like ask questions about which projects and stuff. Yeah, I have a lot of ideas. This is really good, Grigory. Thank you.
Yeah, it makes sense. So basically, if you like, let's say that for some big project, you have a lot of documentation, and yeah, like usually it is hard to read and to go through all the documentation. So like to have this kind of RAG system based on the documentation, just ask some questions, how something is working or like something else. Yeah, it will return back like yeah, fast result. And maybe analyze in a way that you use it.
Oh, no, really, really good. Perfect. Other use cases, just to take that, let's say you have a big database with CVs, for example, how could you query that? That's a real one. or any type of documents or large data set. I also assume if it's document, it's a database. The principle is the same. It's just a source of some data that you want to have this interaction on top of. So cool.